This is a pretty great book. It's called The Architect Academy, and it's a favorite of mine because of how active it is. It would be good for probably late elementary age kids or middle school kids. So this is a book that kind of walks you through what it's like to be an architect, and has fun just engaging things like filling out your ID card, and then let me show you the table of contents. There are different sections: learning from the best, so looking at historical buildings, construction math, measuring area and perimeter, and then building a pyramid with it, drawings and models, construction, different types of buildings, specialist architecture, and then there's a whole goodies section that I'll show you. So with each section, it just has some information and then some activities. So you can, look at the different types of, the different definitions of the different descriptions, of these buildings, and then match them with the correct building. And there are some active things like, here's a floor plan, and this is what goes into it. Now it's your turn. So fill in the floor plan based on whatever you would like. And then things, where you add extra something with cardstock or graph paper and actually cut out your own model. So it's teaching those proportions and just thinking about scale, which is pretty cool. When you're finished with each activity, there's a place to put a sticker. And if you flip all the way to the back, there's a whole page of these little construction hat stickers, and these are for some of the other activities. So it's just so much fun because every page has an activity to do on it. Design a treehouse, and I love the part about so problem solving. Fit 5 rooms into a floor plan, and these elements with math where it talks about area and perimeter. So here's this little robot named Harry, the robot architect, and so you start by coloring in these sort of like color by letter design here, and then it uses that to talk about the differences with, or how area works, and then you're using that to build a pyramid where on a separate piece of paper you measure out the shapes by inches and actually cut out and make a pyramid. So there are just so many things to do in here. It would be a great activity book for a trip or just rainy Saturday afternoon. Well, except it would take a long time to go through it. So it would sustain interest for a while. So design a playground. There are, so then there's this whole section on bridges and how bridges work, and then build your own bridge. So on the flaps, the front flap and the back flap, there are a punch out pattern for a bridge that's white, so imagine you could color it in. And so you can actually put your own bridge together. And that goes with what is on the back here. It's this whole game. On one side, it's a poster that it's perforated, so you can take it out. So on one side, there's a timeline of architecture. On the other side, there's a whole game board, and there are tokens and pieces to use with it. So you put the bridge on here. It's part of the game. And let me show you. At the back, with the stickers, there are all of these tokens and the game pieces for the game. So it's just such a fun, so there are some instructions for you. Such a fun, active game or book that's going to be engaging, but also teach kids about how architecture works and designing and math and proportions and all that kind of fun stuff. So Architect Academy.